this weekend, actually, we went to the park.
We did.
Yep. Bunch of people.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, that was all right. It was a good time. You rocked up on an electric scooter, an e-scooter.
I did.
What's happening there? Are you an e-scooter guy now? Is that who you are? Will Schofield, you're going to see him out in the pathways?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a big environment man, and got to say, I want to look after the environment for the future generations. I mean, I wanted to ask you, how did you feel about me not wearing a helmet?
Made me feel ill because I knew the streets that you were taking to get to this park from your house.
Yeah.
You also, as you left the park, there was a grand farewell, and you sprinted off, jumped onto a path, almost took out some kids.
I was yeah.
Yep.
Shocking.
And that was you, e-scooter boy.
As long as you approve, mate.
Just got to wear some knee pads, please.
BackChat 2.0, here we are. Dan Const, Will Schofield, as always. Look, we're changing, forever changing. We've got a white background now. We've got the real background. White bricks, no headphones. I feel like we're ever evolving here at BackChat.
You never know what you're going to get.
No, and when we say that...
Tom Hanks said that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
I'm terrible at that game. You got it. Box of chocolates.
Yeah.
We do actually have a secret weapon joining the program. Now, it's not Charlie. I know everyone wants Charlie back, but we have not heard one thing about I don't know where Charlie is.
Charlie's in the great southern of the state.
Yeah, he's south.
But I have not heard much from him.
All the way south. We've got a secret weapon that we're about to unveil. So he is with us currently, but micless. But
I in this big door behind us.
I have a feeling that he's going to be mic'd up at some point.
Okay.
Not this show, but at some point in the future.
Yeah,
That's all I'll say.
Yeah.
As usual, got a big show in store. We love having a bit of a chat about the footy landscape, but later on, Daniel Venables is joining us.
DV. It's
relevant to what's going on right now. One, I've always wanted to sit down and talk to Venables about his story because, there's nowhere that gives enough space to talk about what he's been through. People don't understand. People hear head knock, concussion, and so
it's not a 5-minute chat.
A young kid, hurt his head and he's out of footy now. His life has been forever changed. So I can't wait to chat to him about it. A bit of room, but we've kind of got a bit of a concussion thing going on right now in the AFL.
Yes, Brad Shepherd.
Yeah,
we're talking Brad Shepherd.
Oh yeah.
So hasn't happened yet, but apparently he's going to retire. It's Monday today.
It's Monday night.
It's Monday night. We're recording on a Monday. He was meant to retire today, according to one local sports reporter.
I gotta be honest. So we found out just before he hadn't retired today. He wasn't at the club.
Yep.
I find that pretty funny.
Yeah.
That tweet. I really don't want to name. I don't want to make this.
It doesn't matter who it was.
Media Watch, people who follow me on Twitter know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, we post about it on YouTube as well. But the reason why we're talking about concussion is because Brad Shepherd, they've been saying, allegedly retiring due to sort of the whole concussion deal, his health moving forward, doesn't feel comfortable playing.
It's hilarious because the tweet that I brought up and I've passionately felt very strongly about, that Brad Shepherd was not allowed the opportunity, if he was in fact retiring, to do that in front of the group, in front of his teammates, because no one was back until today.
Right.
But Brad hasn't retired today. The only argument I had thrown at me on social media, there was a lot of support, I must say, but the only argument against was, well, the media report the facts, and that's what we have to do. Facts are facts, and that's what we report.
Yep.
Brad Shepherd has not retired on a Monday to his teammates. That is absolutely hilarious.
Yep. Well, look,
that's gold.
I work with journos, and a lot of I did ask. I said, "What do you guys think?" And I asked people, and I said, and they're like, "That's the person who tweeted this. That's his job. He has one person to report to, and that's not one person, and that's his job. He heard this news. He reported it.
What job did they say he had?
As a journalist, to break news. If you know something...
What type of news?
Well, any news doesn't matter.
Truthful news?
Yeah.
Factual news?
The fact that he was going to retire, I guess, it's probably going to happen if Brad plays this...
Well, yeah, that story has been out there.
Yeah, it's been around for a bit.
And
the pile on... I will also say, we did bring up the tweet and stuff and thought it wasn't really appropriate, but the pile on the person,
Yeah, it's
didn't really love that.
No, neither did I. It's a bigger issue, right?
Yeah, but my take on it was, and as you know, I work with journos, like, and I get the whole your job's to report news, but like, you don't have, like, why? There's no benefit. What benefit are you adding by tweeting this out other than making yourself sort of look like you're in the know? Give the guy a chance just to come out and do it. Brad Shepherd's one of those guys who, from the outset, looking into the club, rarely done a thing wrong. Barely put a foot wrong. Like, just let the guy have a moment to do it. Why do it for him?
Like I said, the argument used to me was, well, the journalists report the truth, and the truth needs to be reported, which I agree with, which in this case looks to be hasn't been achieved, which is hilarious. But you can't tell me that there's journalists around that every single thing that comes across the desk they report that day or that night.
Yeah.
Journalists hold information.
You know journos, and I know journos who've known this Brad Shepherd thing and have chosen...
Mate, every single journalist in Australia, let's say footy, holds factual stories. Until one, they're ready to break them. Maybe they've confirmed it. But three, whether they feel it's right or wrong to publish it. There's stories out there right now that journalists know about that they have not pulled the trigger on because they have some sort of line, whether it's a moral line, whether it's a respect line, whether it's the timing's not right, there is a line.
Yep. Tom Morris talked about this. We asked him about it.
Correct.
Footy journo gets stuff across his desk all the time, and he chooses to tweet some stuff, chooses for various reasons.
Now, you and I probably share the same view that this probably missed the mark, but that's okay. We can actually have that opinion.
Yeah. Again, that's just our opinion.
That's all good.
There's no right and wrong. There's just opinion. Speaking of opinions, Kane Corn's got one. Kane Corn's got an opinion recently about Sydney Stack. I saw this just today and I sent it to you and I thought, I said, should we talk about this? And you said, I'd like to talk about this.
Absolutely.
Kane Corn's, so Sydney Stack, very talented young player.
Yeah. He's had his issues. He's had his issues as well.
Yeah, he's had his issues. On the field, he's deadly. Like, he's a very talented player.
Yes.
Kane Corns has said, and I'm just going to bring up the bit where he said, this is what Kane Corns says. What I'm worried about is that he's wasting his talent. As he's as talented as Rosie, Walsh and Smith, but I reckon he's wasting it. And this is because he's very active on Instagram.
TikTok. He mentioned TikTok.
TikTok, yeah.
He mentioned TikTok. He said your TikTok videos are cringeworthy. They're silly.
Yeah.
And the quote was, until you start doing things on the field, you probably need to lay off the social media.
Yeah. So as you've played in the game before.
Correct.
Training X amount of hours a day, a week.
Yeah.
There's no obligation that you must not do anything else throughout the week.
Correct.
You getting on TikTok 1 hour a day isn't hindering your performance unless it's instead of training or instead of other things.
Yeah. I can have a pretty balanced view on this one. I see both ways. So as a fines master at the footy club, I used to trawl social media of the boys looking for stuff to pull them up for.
Yeah, good.
You cannot put a topless TikTok up doing anything.
Yeah.
No topless.
Yeah.
You need to put a shirt on. You look like an idiot, right? This is me in the fines. This is not me talking about anyone else. When I was fines master, shirtless post. No.
Yep.
It was actually a penalty on the wheel of death that we had.
Yep.
If you spun it up, you could either pay money or you could put a shirtless photo on Instagram. Shannon Hearn actually spun it one time, but he didn't have a social media account, so we couldn't put it up.
Does he have a phone?
It's Nokia 3310. He's playing Snake still right now. So I can kind of understand the picking Sydney Stack apart by Kane Corns, an older player thinking, like, what are you doing, mate? You're putting nothing out on the field. You've made nothing of yourself as a player. And the TikTok stuff, if you don't understand it and it's not a part of who you are, it just looks like you're showboating and it doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
Well, you can have the other view of it's actually part of society and culture now, like especially that age group, younger guys. You and I are not part of that anymore.
We're trying.
We're old. You got two kids. I got two kids. We're trying to our very best. But him getting on TikTok isn't him going like, hey, how big of a deal am I? Like, how much of a gun footballer am I? It's just him being himself.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be like, like athletes control the narrative, even though I've been saying that publicly recently. Like, it's just him being himself. And so if I put it into context, like, it's like any other situation. It doesn't have to be social media. if someone's doing something that you instantly look at and you're like, I don't agree with that and I don't understand it, so it must be wrong.
Yeah.
It's just Kane Corns isn't in that era, which is fine. Like, it makes sense, but guys Sydney Stack's age, that's what people do now. Like, that's how they. That's like when Kane was a young guy and he used to get on the dial up and he'd pull the phone and he'd hide under the bed talking to his mates at school. Now you get on TikTok.
Yeah, it takes a tenth of the time as well to get on TikTok.
So say that, but also say, like, Sydney Stack, get off TikTok, mate. You're looking stupid as well. I agree with Kane.
Yeah.
But we also have to have a degree of acceptance.
Yeah.
I can be in both parties here, right?
You can be, you can be in both.
All right. Well, that's our media watch this week. Lockie Reg got a clip. We clipped him during the week and we got a clip off the top there. Kane Corns, look, he gets a 50-50. He gets a clip, but I kind of agree with him.
Yeah, look, especially you got to put the runs on the board. Mm-hmm. You got to back it up.
That's right. So, look, we're pretty close to our Daniel Venables interview. YouTube's going well. We've had some great subscribers. We appreciate the call out that happened during the week last week, and we've seen some uptick in subscribers, but we're not there yet. We need to get to 1,000 subscribers. We need to smash that like and subscribe button and get that alert button going. No, in all honesty, like, we're going to keep putting all of our content across YouTube. We're breaking it down into highlights for you guys as well, so you don't happen to catch the whole episode. You can kind of break it down through that as well.
Bits and pieces.
Yeah.
Before we get to Daniel Venables, Mr. Venables, the Venmeister General.
Two Daniels in the house.
Yeah. And maybe we should have referred to myself as Daniel, because it's...
No one's ever called you Daniel.
No, some people do. Send it...
Hi, Diane. And I know Diane because she's a very big fan of ours on socials.
Big fan of Diane. You send it, we read it. The last little segment we have to get to before... Don't worry, social media, we'll do that with... All right. Let's save that.
Don't worry, I wasn't going to forget about you send it, we read it. It's a very important part of our show. Huge. And you know what is a little subreddit of that?
What?
Send your number and call it, we speak it.
Yep.
We got someone in the can for next week.
Yes. We have your number. I know you'll listen to this. We have your number. We're going to do it next week.
If you'd like to be spoken to, next week we've got a few live calls, I reckon.
Yep.
That's what we're going to be about next week. You send it, we read it. Amiable Anderson, one of our favourites.
Will, being a Mount Hawthorn local, and Dan, you being a club champion at Chute Hill Junior Cricket Club, correct? What are your thoughts on the triangular park where Wanneroo Road splits into Charles Street and London Street? I love this question.
Oh, I have no idea what we're talking about.
Okay, so Dog Swamp Shopping Centre.
Okay, yep.
Across the road.
I know where the Hungry Jacks is. They get my frozen Cokes there all the time.
Yeah, that triangle, that weird triangle park.
Yeah, that's a weird park.
Yeah, I used to go there a fair bit. I love that they brought this up. Used to take the dog there. It's all gated. It's all fenced.
Right.
Leash off.
Is this your blind dog?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
We learned we had something in common today.
We
Both
have
of our
too
dogs.
many things in common.
We don't have that many. What else do we have in common? Two
elite
kids.
athletes, 2 kids.
Both at born about the same time.
Yeah. Dogs.
Beautiful wives.
Yep.
Partners.
Both of our dogs have epilepsy.
Yeah. Yeah. My dog had an epileptic fit right before this episode.
Yeah.
Actually,
it's
through
scary.
the show.
If you've experienced, let us know. It's brutal.
This park is also adjacent to Aldi.
Yeah. I love the Aldi special buys. I bought a
I love Aldi, man.
I bought a
best jacket I've ever bought. It was like, what? Come on, slap me.
I bought this sick I bought this puffer jacket from Aldi. This blue,
are you having me on?
the navy,
We've become best friends.
A navy blue puffer jacket.
No, a black one.
I got this puffer jacket from Aldi.
$7.
It was so
People
cheap.
used to look at me like, what brand is that, man? Like, where'd you get that? Like,
I reckon we've got the same jacket. You've got
I
it in
used to
black.
roll out. I got it from Aldi, and it was $7.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so that's our thoughts, Amiable. Great park.
Really good.
Yep.
Philip White Tiling, an OG of the pod. Yeah.
That's it. That's who
Yep. Let's do it.
PWT is.
Yep.
Hello, Will, Dan, and Charlie, if he's back from filming his season of The Bachelor. No, he's still not back, which means maybe he got to the end.
Okay.
Oh, no, I guess he was The Bachelor. Story time. Okay. Oh, gosh, here we go. My text is really small on my phone. I was recently at a children's party, 5 or 6 year olds. Lots of running, screaming, and games. During this party, a few kids started playing tag. In an effort to not be tagged, one child ran into the toilet, slammed the door, and because of this, broke the door lock so it couldn't be opened.
Okay.
This is great. I haven't actually read this yet.
Okay.
The child started screaming and crying. The mum started freaking out. As the mum started freaking out, and everyone became an expert lockpick, but couldn't unlock the door. My wife said, "Phil, just get the other door open." Being the only tradie at the party who knew how to use tools, I ended up removing the doorknob to turn the pin, fairly easy. However, in my rush to open the door because both child and mother were screaming and crying, I did minor damage to the doorknob, which needs replacing. It can no longer be locked. The mother of the locked child and myself have been asked by the host of the party to install a new doorknob or pay for its replacement, but she'll pay for the doorknob. Is this woman acting like a Karen, or should someone just fix it? P.S. The house is old and falling apart.
This is outrageous. We need to do an instant take on YouTube about this.
Okay.
You can't be locking a kid in a toilet, screaming.
The kid locked himself in there.
Kid can't be locked in the toilet. Mother screaming, carrying on.
Yeah.
Someone help, help, help.
A hero comes along, Philip White Tiling. Saves the day.
Comes along. Yeah. And then what? You have to pay for the doorknob you removed? No.
Also,
the title of that email was "Who pays for this?" I'll tell you right now, Philip White Tiling, not you.
Not
mate.
you.
You should be gifted
maybe
doorknobs, free doorknobs.
Maybe if the owner of the home is a bit of a stinge, maybe the mother should pay for it. One other thing, Phil, and I know this is a podcast of the people, but I'm talking directly at you. You spelt mum M-O-M. So you've either copied and pasted this from a story from Reddit or something from an American, or you are American yourself, or you spell it M-O-M. Interesting little sidebar
Thank you. Just a great insight into Dan's mind there, everybody. That's how it operates. You send it, we read it. Successful as always.
Yeah.
Do not pay that bill, Philip. That's outrageous behaviour by whoever's house that is.
Send it our way and we'll shred it.
That's right. We've got Dan Venables coming up. Sick interview. We're going to love it. Love having him in the studio. Let's do it.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Daniel Venables is in the house. Been chasing him for a long time, actually. We've had some big guests on, Dan.
Huge.
I'm going to try and call you Dan.
Yep.
And you Venas.
Okay. Well, you started already calling him Daniel, and you said before you've never called him Daniel.
Well, I have to introduce him as Daniel Venables because people listening can't see him, but people watching know that man's sitting next to me. Dan the man, how are you, mate?
Good, mate. You've had a few big guests in the past, and I think you saved the best till now. Andrew Bogut.
Let's hope it's
Danny Venables.
Let's hope it's not the best till last.
no.
I thought you were gonna drop that one. It's like Dan and then Mike drop it like see you later.
See you later.
Thanks for coming in, mate. Thanks for giving us a bit of time. You busy at the moment or what?
Not really, mate.
Neither am I. I'm doing a podcast.
Nah, not doing much at the minute, mate.
So how we do things here, mate. Talk about the journey a bit. And like yours has been cut short, we all know that. But you still got a pretty good journey, I think. And so I want to get into a bit of that with you. Dan will throw some good questions at you too. But we always start with this one. And I've given you no notice, so we're going to test if you've been listening to any other episodes, and I don't think you have. We asked our guests, what's the greatest sporting achievement that's ever been in your life? Not on the football field. So don't tell me you won the 2018 flag. I don't care about the flag, mate. Plenty of us have won the 2018 flag.
I'm a listener, mate.
Good.
I know.
I see you prepared.
I know one.
Please be pulling out a medal of some.
We've got something in common.
What?
The 80-metre hurdles. Under nines. Victoria state champ.
Big state champ.
How did I forget about this? Tell the listeners. Tell the listeners what we're talking about.
Yeah, so we're honoured. We're honoured. We are.
No, Dan's honoured to be sitting in our presence.
Yeah.
You are sitting in greatness.
The hurdles are like
Greatness.
this high off the ground.
You got to win.
Tell
it.
him, what did you do?
Mate,
Under nines,
state
champ.
State championship 80-metre hurdles in Victoria.
So Dan's a listener, right? He texted me about 4 or 5 weeks ago when I mentioned about the prowess of winning the state title in the 80-metre under nines hurdles.
Hopping, yep.
And Venas goes, mate, no shit. I am also a state champion in under nines 80-metre hurdles. So we went back through the records to compare times.
Mm-hmm.
Venas has got me by about a second. Like, it's
that's
absolutely smashed me.
Quick. Yeah.
I actually thought, you've been a quick guy in the AFL and you've been like that speedster guy, but I was like, oh, watch this. Sky will have him here. Nowhere near it. Like, you beat me by about a second and a half.
I reckon we should replay it as like at your age now. See what happens.
Oh, wow. It could be a fair fight, maybe. I don't know. Venas would probably have me again by about 20 to 30.
You'd have to use the kids' hurdles, though. I don't think you guys are jumping over proper
I just
hurdles.
wouldn't want to stack it.
Who are you competing for? Who'd you?
Kill Athletics. Yeah. we're number 46. Do you remember your number? The number of the actual club?
You want me to tell you? 1.
What?
Geelong, mate. Number 1.
Are they number 1?
They're the number 1, mate.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, black and white. Black and white, 46.
Geelong, 1. So, yeah, Little Athletics, Dan. You done anything?
What, Little Athletics?
No, not Little Athletics.
Plenty of things. Championships in basketball. I've also played indoor cricket, won championships there. Played regular cricket. Where do you want me to... Like, there is a trophy here. I don't know if you've seen the trophy. Like, you've heard maybe about it.
Yeah.
But now you finally... You could actually
Guys,
have a look at it if you want. So that's the ball there from the game. 5 wickets for 16 in a final.
You a cricketer, Venables?
I'm a cricketer, yeah. Seems to be the seam's going on it.
Well, mate,
Probably
that
nipping
was...
around. No wonder why you got wickets. It's half
Yeah,
a ball,
swinging
mate.
everywhere. But that was in a final. So that's my sporting achievement amongst other things. But that's the one I had my hat on.
Are you sporty? Like, there's like some footy
I
guys.
was a gun at cricket. Better at cricket than footy.
And modest. We love it.
No, serious.
What, batting, bowling, all
Batting,
rounder?
I played for Victoria.
Did you?
Yeah.
So,
I had a Kookaburra sponsorship when I was 15.
so talk about a sponsorship when you're 15 could be better than the under 9 hurdles.
Yeah, let's start with that.
You can't beat that.
So, so what was that decision like then? Like, you must have had a decision where you're like footy over cricket.
I took it. Well, footy, you make footy when you're 18. Cricket, you don't make until older. You're not going to make it when you're 18.
Are you telling me there's a chance?
No, I just always thought that footy is always a bit more fun. But if I didn't make footy, I could go back to cricket.
Did you? Yeah,
I was like good, mate. I was a good batter. My state team, I made the most runs in our team.
Opening batter?
Opening batter or bat at 3, yeah.
It's kind of funny, like, footy guys do that. Shannon Hearn, like, good cricketer. Brad Shepherd, good cricketer. There's been a few.
Yeah.
I don't know how it correlates, but there seems
Not so much for you, though.
Oh, thank you, Dan. Shocking cricketer. Absolutely shocking cricketer. I used to play ones, like first cricket for Geelong College.
Serious feeds at lunch there.
When I was in year 10, but they would take, instead of the 11 players, they would play 12 players, and every game they'd have to ask if the 12th player could get a bat just to give him a go.
Yep.
Who do you think was in 12 batting?
You, of course.
Yeah, Will Schofield. So every game, our coach would have to negotiate to give Scully a bat, and I didn't even open the bowling.
You've got
I was like the first drop bowler.
What are you doing? That's the worst sport to be involved
I was just line and length, man. I just hit the spot.
You've got the body for a
Go
bowler.
play force basketball and get school sport over in Dublin on Saturday morning.
Shake my hand. Nah, I started playing tennis year 11, 12, like D grade tennis. Get it done by 10 a.m. Get home. Get on the bus.
I'm also a very good tennis player, by the way.
I don't know if we have time for that. We need to get into Venice.
Okay.
From Melbourne, Victorian boy. Early draft pick 13. Probably West Coast. No, you were before Jared Brander. So Jared Brander, first round draft pick, but before him, they hadn't had many high picks before, like in a fair period of time.
I'll go.
What was that like? What, getting picked up high?
Yeah.
Because you weren't. Say with the greatest respect, it wasn't. I think it was a bit of a surprise to some. Was it a surprise to you?
No, it was, but it wasn't. I had I was good at the start of the year, and then I had a foot injury where I couldn't play the last half of my draft year.
Yeah.
But like I was in I was all Australian, all that.
Yeah.
But it's because I just played school footy, so not many people like see school footy.
Yeah.
So I didn't play much at Western Jets.
School?
Penley Nesson Grammar School, Pegs. But yeah, I didn't, because I hurt my foot. I didn't think I was going to go to West Coast. That's for sure. I thought I was going to go like in the 20s.
Are you still tight with some of your schoolmates?
Yeah, for sure. You know, school footy's the funnest.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah. Yeah. And any of those boys still playing footy? Anyone come out of school that
Yeah.
like around the mark?
Cam Rayner.
Can play.
Curtis Taylor.
Can play.
Yeah. I think it was just us.
Curtis Taylor, Sydney? No.
Nah, North.
Ah, yes.
North.
So Cam Rayner, number 1 draft pick, Dan? Can play.
Can play.
Dan Venables can play though.
Used to be me and Cam, me mid, Cam full forward, and then we just do direct swaps.
Really?
Yeah.
But you were the midfielder in the combination. He was the big fat forward.
I was the year 12. So I got to be.
Okay, you put a bit of rank.
Yeah.
So then, if you're getting picked at 13, but you didn't expect, like, what's that process look like? Then, are you getting a phone call? Oh, it might be a bit earlier than you think, or is it a surprise?
Well, I thought I was going to go either 16 to Port or 21 to Essendon. And Brisbane, 1 to Brisbane was a bit earlier.
Because had they called?
I kind of, we've spoken about it, and but we didn't speak about West Coast or Perth whatsoever.
Did you speak to West Coast?
Yeah, I spoke to West Coast, but
Didn't think they were keen?
Nah, no way.
Why?
Oh,
Who was it? Was it
Brady,
Trevor Woodhouse?
It was Brady.
Was it?
Yeah.
Brady Rawlings?
Yeah, doesn't give much.
So what is that? What are they asking you? Like, are you interested in coming to Perth or?
Nah, didn't ask me if I was interested to come.
Yeah.
The last place I wanted to come, I'm from Melbourne. The last place I wanted to come was Perth. I turned 18 the week before the draft as well.
And you're from Melbourne as well.
Yeah, I'm from.
You're not from like Toorak, mate.
I'm from the western suburbs.
It's from Melbourne. So what was that move over like, mate? Like you didn't expect to care here, and you end up here. You know, young guy coming into a pretty successful team, right? So 2015 grand final, 2016, you know, thereabouts, and you get drafted at the end of 2016.
Man, to be honest, because we're in Melbourne, you don't really hear much about West Coast. So I didn't know a few players when I got there, and I was like, I was a bit shocked, to be honest. So the whole weather when you get over here, the training standards is pretty high. Like we train hard.
Yeah,
that's one thing about it. We train hard. I just went for it. Stayed with Shuey. Everyone thought I looked like him as well.
So when you moved over here, you moved in with Luke Shuey?
Yeah.
And you were like a little Shuey, right?
Yeah, a little Shuey. We were DJing in the garage and that.
He's from a similar area to you, right?
Yeah, he's northern suburbs, yeah.
Oh my God. So like Luke Shuey's got a little dungeon that's even smaller than this little dungeon. And he has a set of decks in there because he thinks he's some sort of DJ. But so do you, right?
Yeah, of course.
Well, did anyone come down and party, or was it just
just us by ourselves?
That's so good. So you come into a successful team, you work hard. That first year, you probably are you thinking you're going to play? Was the goal to play?
Yeah, well, because I come with that injury from the draft.
Yeah.
So I had to bide my time. I had to play resis, like the resis, threes.
So waffle resis.
I played two waffle resis games, 60 minutes, and then into the fun stuff, East Perth ones. That was elite. Get 'em, boys.
What? Tell that story. What's that? What's Get 'em Bush?
So we all play Call of Duty, and we just had how many boys do you reckon was playing? We would have had 8 in the crew.
It was down at Peel Thunder.
Yeah. So I reckon we had 8 of us that played COD all the time, and we all played East Perth at Peel Thunder, and Peel they were the best. They were one of the best.
Yeah. So that was 2017.
2017.
They just won the grand final.
Yeah.
16, I think.
I reckon they won 2017 as well.
So
they did.
We're playing
Fremantle
them.
B squad.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like they were pumping, and so we end up down at the Thunderdome down at Peel Thunder, and we played with a squad of 8 online. Every one of those 8 were playing in that game.
Yeah, and we're legit running around like yelling stuff we play when we play COD, like Get 'em boys, like all this stuff. Scully would be doing some like Scully loves to run and do a little like dummy and sell like a bit of candy. He was doing that. Holding it one-handed, that sort of stuff. Like, how fun was that day?
It was. I look back
and we won.
I look back at it as one of the best games I've ever played, and it wasn't because like things that had 30 or kick goals. It was just fun.
Everyone was just yelling shit to each other, like randomly. Coley would be at half back line, and he'd be yelling to someone at half forward, "Get 'em, boys."
What do we? So Get 'em, boys.
I don't even know how to explain it. How did it even come with it?
Our clan tag was GEB, Get 'em boys. And so we'd be online and, sorry for nerding out fully here, guys, but I think we got to. We'd all be mics, headphones, and we'd get home from training at 2:00 and we'd be on at 2:01, straight, and we'd be playing until probably way too late. We probably ended up winning a flag in 2018 because we banned Call of Duty.
Well, the club instituted a ban.
No, we banned it. We're like,
right.
Boys, this is getting out of control. Like, we're playing a game and we're using clan tag names from Call of Duty. Right? So anyway, Get 'em boys was our thing. So we'd be like playing in a game of Call of Duty, and then someone would be like, "Oh, hey, Venables, I forgot to tell you at the club, man. I'm just gonna get 'em, boys. We're gonna get 'em, boys."
Just sliding it in.
And so then we worked that, and it got bigger and bigger. And then that game we played, and it was good. So we ended up winning that. You played waffle for a fair bit of that year, but
I played. So I reckon, man, Simo come up to me around I reckon 14. We're going to play a Thursday night game against Geelong.
So 2017,
2017,
round 14,
round
hadn't
14.
debuted yet.
Hadn't debuted yet. Training on the Tuesday. He's like, mate, what do you reckon? Yeah, you want to play? And I'm like, yeah. yeah. Like, told me this at the start of training. So I'm sitting like, he's like, all right, well, you're on. And then, you know that drill, one of the drills we did where like someone had to shepherd someone. It was like one of them kicking diversity or something.
Yeah.
And I got, yeah.
So what, you had to like shepherd another player?
No, I got like, I was getting the ball and I got like knocked over and I like shattered my big toe. Just after Simo told me I was playing.
No.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So it was 2014, and that was season over, right?
Last season, yeah, I had turf toe bad. Like I couldn't. Well, I was legit like I was like, this is sore. And I'm like, as you do, you're like, well, we'll be right. We'll go downstairs. I'm like, Tux, this is sore, mate. Like this is.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I like ruptured like the underneath my toe and shit. And then I couldn't get back. I just couldn't like get through it because like, they didn't want it because you can't get jabbed in your first year.
Legally?
Oh, no, the club don't do
Chooses.
it. The club, yeah, no.
Choose not to.
They don't want to.
So are you at that point going like, maybe I could just master this and play through the pain? Like, because you want to play?
Turf toe's meant to be like
bad, bro.
So as you know, an athlete but not a footy player, I know Aaron Sandlin's constantly had turf toe, and in my head, I feel like he's got like gangrene foot or something. Like it just sounds like.
Yeah, true. Yeah, no, I don't even know. I don't really know what it is, other than I know it's painful. Like, what is it?
It's all the ligaments in your big toe, and you have a plate underneath your toe.
Right.
Underneath your big toe,
Like
underneath
a dinner plate.
yeah, underneath like the big joint on your toe. Yeah, it's all that, all them ligaments. It's all
And they get stretched, torn.
like they get torn, they tear it, and then the plate gets something's happened to the plate. I forget what happened to the
And
plate.
can you have surgery to repair it?
If it's bad enough,
Right.
Yeah, but people do.
A lot of your injuries were lower limb
Contact,
injuries,
yeah.
right?
I just had contact.
You came with a foot injury out of draft, and then turf toe.
And then I did a syndesmosis.
2018, right?
Syndesmosis, yeah. I reckon I've had 5 injuries in my life, and it's been a broken fibula, my foot, a turf toe, a syndesmosis, and my head.
And your noggin.
Yeah, but it's all been like long ones. Well, I don't have like hammies or anything. I've never had like a little ones. Nah.
Rolled ankle.
Nah, never.
Little finger that you can
Nah.
strap together.
Yeah, nah, never.
So I can keep the head out of it because I want to kind of get into that obviously
After,
fully
yeah.
a bit. But those injuries, those lower limb injuries early in your career, what was that like in rehab as a young player? Like, was that difficult? Like being away from home?
Yeah,
Sort of stuff?
it gets tough, especially. Well, when you do rehab, you're away from everyone, and then you do your running in the morning by yourself, or if someone's in the rehab group with you. You go back, do gym, not with anyone else. Just then everyone.
Who do you do it with?
Geordie Stairs, and it's hard.
Geordie and Finney.
Yeah, Geordie and Finney, and you got to do pre-ab before gym as well.
Yeah, by yourself.
And then you got Stairs, Jacob's ladder.
Yeah, by yourself.
By yourself, yeah. And then everyone goes and does their weights after the meetings, and then you go to a cardio in the room.
Why do they make you do it? Because I've heard that a fair bit. Like when you're rehabbing, that it's a bit lonely. Is there a reason why they?
It's. Do you want to answer?
I think it's just because you just need. It's not anything. It's just because it's just easy for the time.
It's logistics,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like you've got the main squad, you got 40 blokes that are fit, and they're going to be playing the next weekend. Like that's the way footy clubs work. Is when you can contribute and you can help win, you're the most important. It's brutal, but like that's where the focus goes, is winning games of footy, and everything flows off that. You know, marketing and finance and merchandise, everything is about winning games of footy. And if you can't contribute, it's not personal. It's not like this thing like, oh, Venables can't help us right now, but it is like that. It's like
business.
Get your foot right, and then you can come back and help.
Yeah, I guess they can't give like you one coach while you have.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly right. It's business, right? Like,
Yeah.
You got to do it. So, okay. So you kind of work through that rehab stuff, come to 2018, haven't debuted yet, been at the footy club for a year. What's the mindset coming into 2018? What did the preseason look like for you?
Yeah, I was good. Not many people have a full off season of just like, I was ready to go. I was ready to go at the back end of 2017. Like the last couple of games I could have played.
Yeah.
But they just said, we're not
held back a bit.
Yeah, we're just not doing it. And then, so I had a full thingo, and then, round 1, got a gig. And I was
Played round 1, right?
Yeah, played round 1, and when we got smacked.
Sydney.
Buddy kicked 8.
I don't know who he kicked them on.
That was the first game at Perth Stadium, right?
Yeah, Buddy kicked. Yeah, first game at Optus Stadium. So like we spoke about it a lot. Let's set the scene. We need to stamp our turf, and Sydney's gonna come over here. and We're gonna smack them in the mouth. Buddy came over and smacked Scully and TV in the mouth. Kicked 8 goals. It was the Buddy show. It was a proper Buddy show as well. Like he's like one out in the goal square. He's calling it in long, space everywhere. So that was your first game.
That was cool, mate. I remember Leckett kicked a goal at 3/4 time that game. And I just remember, like, because I was my first ever game. I'm playing, and we packed the whole stadium. I've never been in a packed stadium before.
Yeah.
And I remember Leckett kicked a goal after the siren, and it felt like a game, like a video game. Like
Really?
that's how it felt to me. Yeah. I'm like,
Why?
wow. I don't know. It was just like
With the
the crowd and like everything just went in like slow motion. I was like, yeah, it's cool. I remember that
Really?
vividly. Yeah.
It's like almost like a out of body
Yeah.
experience.
I remember that. It was cool.
Wow.
So what was the So a season before, Simo came up to you at training, and goes, "Okay, you ready to go?" Then what happens? First game in 2018 when you finally got that chance. Did they come back to you at training again? And so
Question.
Yeah. No, well, I played all the JLTs.
Yeah.
So you kind of like if you
But that's
Right.
nothing. That's
no,
not the
but
real
if
stuff.
you get into the last JLT
Yes.
and you get through it and you play all right, you're a bit of a sniff.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
But
So you're expecting it.
I expected to play round 1, yeah.
Did you have that same chat though? And then did you think, please don't someone shepherd me and tackle me to the
Keep your
ground?
toes protected.
I forget, man. I think he told us all. He told me, Jake, and
Oh, you're all
Fly,
dead.
and we're all debuting
Yeah.
at 1.
Yeah.
You know when there's those videos where a coach has like a little spiel and all the team standing around, they're like, "All right, boys," and then they bring up one player and they're like, they say they booing this week. Is that like a bit of a show? Like, because it looks like the players are a bit surprised.
What did they do?
What
for
are they all
yours?
expecting?
They got me, Jake, and Liam at the front and said, "You're playing."
Right. At
At
Optus,
the
on the
Optus,
oval.
on Thursday.
I remember
on
that.
Thursday.
I remember
Yeah.
that. Because what they do now, which I think is really cool, so that stuff you're talking about, not cool. It's like the boys get around them for 5 seconds and it's like all good.
Yep.
Now they get the parents, before COVID, they'd get the players' parents in the room before the game and present the jumper.
Yeah.
Did you do that? No.
No, I did it at the captain's run, but my parents weren't there.
Yeah.
That is cool though. I wish. Yeah,
I
jumper
know.
prezzo should be like a big deal.
Yeah, I never.
yeah.
Yeah, correct. I never had that with mine, but like they sort of brought in a bit of a tradition in the last few years that make a big deal about getting your first jumper.
Yeah, it's a big deal in cricket. They bring in
Yeah.
like Gilly or someone, hand the baggie over.
Yeah.
Correct. So 2018. Fast forward a little bit. You had an injury in the middle of that year. You played like the first 4 or 5 games.
Played
Right?
the first 4 games, yeah.
Yeah, and then
syndesmosis, which is like a 12-weeker.
that's a big injury.
What's
Yeah.
syndesmosis?
It's like the high ankle. Do you know how it's like connects your tibia and fibula together, does it?
It's a little tendon in between your leg bones
Right.
that connects into your ankle, and it splits apart. You can do it when you sort of roll your ankle forward, like over the top of your foot. It's a bad injury.
It's this way, isn't it?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
over it.
No, you go in it.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, actually, Venables would know. Why am I telling Venables?
Yeah.
You would
Yeah.
know.
No, my ankle went, so like that's my ankle.
Yeah.
My foot went in that way.
Right, so an inward
Goes
draw.
inwards.
Right.
Outwards you can jab it and play.
Right.
But inwards,
So inwards done.
done.
So 12 weeks you get on the sidelines. Is your mindset back to like the year before and you're like, well, am I going to get wrapped up again?
Nah, I knew this one, like, because I'm a bit older, like, you can get through it. And I knew, like, because we did the non-surgery approach, so I knew it was just going to be 12 weeks and you're back.
Yes.
But you just got to play with a bit of pain for a bit because they're a bit tender.
So when did you come back?
Round 17, maybe?
You played
Round 16. No, round 16
I
or
think
15.
you played 8 games to finish 2018,
Yeah.
including the flag.
Yep.
So it would have been 16-ish.
Yep.
Did you come out of the team? You just once you come back,
Once
you
I
stayed in the team.
once I come in, I stayed in the team. Just playing that half forward role.
What was your role? Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, you led me into it. What was your role? People watching and will watch this, and you come from a junior background where you play in the midfield, you have 30 touches, you play in the forward line, kick 5 goals, you get to AFL level, and you're a 19-year-old that's played 4 games. How's it different to what you've done in junior? Like, what is it?
Yeah.
Explain your role.
My role was so the half forward. You're pretty much defensive. So I've got to be up the ground, being an option for people to hit hit, but then I've also got to get back to be another option, and also engage your defender, so he's not dropping off you, but you've also got to be ready to crumb it. So you're just running up and down, creating options, creating space. So if I'm leading width of the ground, running sideways, I've opened up the corridor for someone else.
Is your role effectiveness, or like how well you play a role, how much does touches come into it?
Nah, they could not care less about touches. Mate, I've had some good games where I've thought I've played shocking because I just haven't gone near it, and the coach has been happy.
What's that like, changing from, like, you just hadn't played a lot of footy at senior level, right? Like, you played 4 games at the start of the year, you played nothing the year before, and you've come out of junior footy being a gun. Yeah. What's that like, coming off the track and you've had 5 touches and you're like, I've played terrible, and the coach's like, well done, mate. Love what you're doing.
Yeah, mate, it's weird. It's weird as. Because I'm not a forward, and I'm not like the best runner. I'm explosive. Like, I'm impact. Like, get me in tight, no dramas. On the outside, I can run, and I'm quick, but like I blow up pretty quick. Yeah. Like, lactic acid doesn't work well with me. Yeah. So like that half forward role was hard, man.
Welcome.
Like, yeah, that was hard, and I hated it. But like I also said to Simo, man, I'm a real like team player. Like I said, hey, I've got Shuey, Gaffy, Redo. Who else was that? Yowie, Sheed,
Redden.
Yeah, we had a serious midfield. Like, I'm realistic. Like, I'm not being a midfielder in that team yet. So I just said, mate, whatever spot you got for me, I'll do it for the team. If I don't have to touch a footy, like, no dramas, I'll do it. I'll do it, man. And like, I'm a good defensive player. Like, I'm good tackling, all that. So I just tried my best and got a gig.
So in the final series, you're in the team in that role. Was it the qualifying or the prelim? You had 7 tackles.
The first one against Collingwood. So I didn't have too much of it, but I had heaps of tackles, and I played my role pretty well. Yeah. It's just then the next week. Man, the prelim. This is how great. Like, my role was like, 1 week the grand final had 4 touches, and the coaches were happy. The week before, I played the exact same role and I had 17 and had like 3 shots at goal, and like I did nothing different. It's just the way of like, if JK and JD are marking the footy, and like the forwards aren't crumbing it and getting it.
Did you? All right. So in the prelim, it was a pretty, it wasn't a
good
wasn't
day.
Yeah.
God, mate. That's probably that in that.
It's fair. It was like, get them, boys.
Yeah, that was like the best day of footy I've ever had in my life. Like, everything was like,
nothing seemed to go wrong.
Nothing. And like, how good the weather was good.
Melbourne at home.
Yeah, the weather was good. The ground was like immaculate, schmick. Yeah. Everything we did went so good. Yeah. Like, crowd was loud. Like, yeah. That's good.
You got a bit of the pill.
Yeah, got it. Yeah, finally got a lick.
I remember. I think I bought tickets that were like $190 a ticket for that one. Went with my dad for the final because we thought probably not going to get to the Grandie. It was a very good game to be at. Well, to spend that money and had amazing food.
West Coast fans, like, I know a couple of Melbourne fans listen to this podcast, and they're like pour a little liquor out for 2018 performance, because that, like, I've never played in a game where another team I felt were just not at the level. Like, they must have just they'd had a good year, and they'd especially finished the year well, and they'd come into that game with a lot of hype behind them. They're almost favourites or something coming into it, maybe. And I've never played in a game where, like, the opposition team, we played well, but it was like they played bad.
It's like us at Geelong.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there like a crazy long goal with like that bounced? I think there was a goal that bounced for like 35 metres. It was like it went through.
Hutchie. Remember Hutchie kicked the goal in the last quarter?
It's just like nothing went wrong.
It was an off year.
Everything went well.
Yeah, it was good.
Right, so you play well that game. You're not going to get dropped. You made a grand final. You're in second year of AFL. You debut at the start of that year, and then you're playing in a grand final. What's that week like for you? You got reflections on that?
Man, I don't really remember it, to be honest. Like, I remember, because we're so young, you're a bit naive, to be honest. Me and Coley, I was 19, he was 20. Yeah. And we just, I don't know, like, we were so confident that year. Like, all you guys were older, you know what I mean? Like, older, yeah. Like, your experience, you know what I mean? Like, you walk a bit taller when you've got an experienced team. Like, you've been to the grand final before. Yeah. You know how it's done. Simo played in grand finals, coached in a grand final. So it kind of made it easy for the younger boys, to be honest.
What about getting home in front of, like, so Coley, you mentioned Coley, Tom Cole's a Victorian lad as well. Like, was there extended pressure? Was it better to be home around those guys? Did you have visitors coming to the hotel, people asking for tickets.
I had people asking for tickets for sure, but they were hard to come by.
The bush.
Yeah, the bush. Yeah, they were hard to come by. I remember the grand final parade. I had a few mates there. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. What do you remember about that?
First time I ever held a baby. So JK, so they put us in the truck.
My God.
They put us in the truck.
Back of the Hilux.
In the back of the
Who are you
Hilux.
with?
JK. So all the media interviewer, and so obviously I'm not getting interviewed, and he's getting interviewed non-stop, one after the other, one after the other, and the boys obviously. Did you bring Nash?
Yeah, come up for a few photos.
Yeah. So the boys, I think it was Sage.
Yeah.
Loz was trying to give Sage to JK, but he was so busy, and she's like, "Here you go." And I was like,
You never held a baby?
"Never held a baby in my life." That's what I remember about the grand final parade.
Were you just like holding it out or something?
I didn't know what to do. I was just held it. I was like, "Oh, well, lucky it didn't take too long." And I'm like, "Yeah, here you go."
And you held it, didn't drop the
No, I didn't drop it.
Good.
No dramas.
And what about you come around the top of Punt Road? Your reflection, can you remember that? You come around that corner at the top of the hill and you kind of see down the hill and
I don't really, man. To be honest,
Okay,
I don't have the best memory.
yeah, true.
I remember it was cool. I do remember that, and I remember standing on the stage.
And what about the mentality around the group at that time? You spoke about standing taller with older guys around. Do you remember specific instruction, or it was just a feeling that we're gonna do this?
There was a feeling that whole year, man.
Yeah.
Besides the Freo, JLT, and Sydney round 1, there was just a feeling. There was a feeling all year that.
Yeah, I got dropped for 8 weeks after that game, so please keep bringing it up. It's good.
But mate, we did not feel like we were going to lose that whole year. We were we're down, and we'd still we'd oh well, we got the last quarter.
I do
time
remember
it right.
that,
We're fit. We're always fit, but it was something about how we play.
The mentality,
The
right?
mentality, yeah.
Maybe.
I remember watching games and West Coast would go down by 5 goals and you'd be like, meh. I just, as a fan, you just they just constantly came back from games.
Yeah, it happened a fair bit that year.
Yeah, we always ran over teams.
Yeah. But again, I don't know if that was fitness or it was just mentality,
yeah.
confidence.
Yeah.
But, looking back at my career, no, we've probably had different careers, but the best teams I ever played in were confident.
Yeah.
They weren't necessarily the best teams. I've played in better teams with better players that didn't win a premiership. Their confidence, that mentality, how you going to beat a team and that sort of thing. So so the build up, great. Grand final day, grand final morning, you're waking up nervous. How you feeling?
Nervous.
Yeah?
Yeah, I was just real nervous.
Really?
Nervous
Yeah.
poo?
I would have, yeah. I had my Lucky Red Jocks on, which is good.
Lucky Red Jocks. Tell me
Red
about them,
Jocks.
please. That's
Well,
very important.
Well, I've always
You got
worn
them on now?
Nah, well, there's a story to this. That it doesn't end well.
Please tell me.
No, well, it's a sad ending. I used to wear red jocks when I played cricket, always make runs, wear them for footy, play good, all this. And then, I just played footy in them. And then the last 2019, when I was playing, I started wearing Speedos, no reds. And then the 1 week, I brought the Lucky Reds back, the last game I ever played.
Oh my God, I don't know what to draw from that.
Yeah.
Let's just go. Can we first go back to the Speedos? So bathers, you're wearing bathers as jocks?
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, players do that.
Players do that, yeah.
Is that surprising? I would say more percentage of players wear Speedos than they would jocks.
What, because of the moisture or something?
I was not one of those players. I hate it. I would never have done it. What was the...
I don't know. Just we always wear them at training because you wear them to train.
I've never worn
Never
Speedos
worn
once
to
in my
train?
life. No, not training. Hate the feeling.
Is it because of what, you're jumping straight in a pool or something? You're
Jumping
trying to
straight in the
save
pool, yeah.
All right, so the Lucky Red Jocks.
Yeah, the Lucky Red Jocks.
Different pairs that are all red or the same?
Yeah,
No, always.
What brand are we talking? What cut are we talking?
They're always Bonds and always the briefs.
I kind of remember the dirty, scungy red bonds being rolled out at training.
That I still wore when I was 13. Yeah.
The elastic, peeling away.
Yeah.
That was you, wasn't it? So, okay, no longer Red Jocks, Lucky Red Jocks.
No, not lucky anymore. Nah.
Well, I don't know. Do you believe in fate?
I've stopped believing in the superstitions anymore after that.
Wow, that's Probably fair.
Yeah.
I mean, it's come to the end.
Eventually, it doesn't work.
All right, so you get your lucky red jocks on grand final day, though.
Yeah.
What are your reflections on that game?
Yeah. I was running around, not getting near it again.
Yeah,
This chook again, like normal. I remember I had a lot of almost that day.
Really?
I had a lot of almost.
You kicked a goal?
Nah, I didn't.
Almost?
Almost. I had a couple almost. And then, I remember DeGoey was on fire that day, but early.
It wasn't.
And then
Could have been.
Kicked a couple.
kicked a couple good goals.
Yeah.
In the first quarter, that one he snapped.
Yep.
Yeah, he kicked one snap in the first. That's not overplay his importance, mate. He only kicked one in the first quarter. We had him quiet. What were you thinking when we're 5-0 down and you're up the other end? Doing fuck all.
Well, me and JK had that little mix up.
Oh, you did too.
And I just remember thinking, fuck.
That was your ball as well.
What was the mix-up?
If we can get a little overlay of this, it'd be good.
I don't want to look at it. No, I don't want to look at it.
So
Not for now.
It's Venables coming back into space. And when I say space, probably JK's space.
It's always JK's space.
Yeah, correct. But Venables by himself.
By myself.
And Venables, JK crashes into Venables. Venables is clean mark for Venables.
And this is when it goes the other end. Coley drops
in front of Jaden Stevenson.
So that's my fault on Cole.
Okay.
I feel sorry for Cole.
The two youngins. So is there a conversation with you and JK, or is it just silence and?
It's just like we're both like, oh well, is what it is. I remember that Willie kicked that little goal.
Yeah, off the back of his
back of his heel. Which kind of like we're like cool, and then we come in and Simo's like, boys, no dramas.
Yeah,
like,
you remember that?
Stats are good.
I don't remember many quarter time addresses, but I remember that one.
Yeah,
you remember that?
I remember that, and then I just remember I just kept trying hard, man. I just felt good that day, like running wise. You know what I mean? Like, some days where you just can
sluggish.
Where you're real sluggish. But this day I just felt like I had heaps of like energy to run around.
Siren, where were you on?
I was on the bench.
Perfect.
On the bench, perfect.
With?
Duggo, Scotty Lysett, and Flying.
Right.
Yeah.
And
just jumped up.
Sprinted on, hugged everyone.
That was pretty cool. That was cool.
What was it like being the youngest guy? Did that come into your mind?
Not really.
So you were inexperienced. You debuted at the start of that year, and you were young in age as well.
Well, you know what they say, mate.
Tell me.
No Venables, no West Coast. One year, one win. Like at the end of the day, is the proof's in the pudding.
You played 2019 though.
No. But I stopped playing.
Right.
Sorry.
Had you played that?
Had I played that year,
we
would have.
So you're telling me the dynasty would still be alive?
You would have had two.
Yeah, I would have got you two. I wouldn't have done much. My job was to get us there.
Okay, and then we won.
Yeah.
And without Venables, we can't win.
Yeah.
That's how we promote this podcast. You know what they say, mate. No Venables, no West Coast.
Who's been saying that, by the way?
Everyone.
Okay.
You got any memories from the off season you want to share? You don't have to if you don't want to. Mad Monday, Mad Week, Hong Kong.
That was big.
There you go.
Yeah,
that's all. Yeah, that was
big. Okay, so we're getting towards we're getting towards what finished things up for you, mate. So you win that flag 2018. You debut at the start of that year. You play 12 games in the first year.
I think I played 15.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many games did you play for your career?
21.
21, right?
Yep.
So 2019, my memories of 2019, the pre-season, and I think this is important because, like, when I was preparing to interview you, even though I'm good mates with you, I like to sit down and just write some questions out where I want to go with it. And my reflections of you of the 2019 pre-season, you are dominating, correct?
Yeah.
You were... So this kid comes to the club, right? Dan Venables, right? So Dan, this kid comes to the club, high draft pick, and it happens all the time with high draft picks. They come in and, like we were sort of speaking about before, they've been playing midfield their whole life, but they come in, they've got to play a different role, and you're like, I don't know if he's that good.
Yep.
It wasn't like that with Venables, but he was playing a different role, clearly. 2019 pre-season comes about, and they're like, right, time to just...
Unleash the beast.
Yeah, trying to shift it in. Like, I played with Juddy. This guy's Chris Judd, coming out of stoppages. It's like playing in pure midfield, awareness in tight, ability to use his hands, but then speed and break away. Like, closest thing to Chris Judd that I remember seeing in my training time. So that was 2019 preseason. They'd play Venables in the middle with Shuey, rest Shuey forward. You'd be like the Cam Rayner to Shuey. Yeah. They'd start Shuey in the midfield, but then he'd get some proper midfield time at training. I remember like several times being on Kenners or Jack Darling or whatever as a backman, and Venables is on their team and just unstoppable. And like we kick it into my player and just be like, this kid's a freak. So that was 2019. Played the first 6 games of that year? 5 games?
Yeah.
What round? It was round 6, right?
So I missed. I got dropped one game early that year. You just spilled me out as Chris Judd, and I got dropped early. I didn't get that one.
Don't worry, mate. I'm sure Juddy's been dropped.
I missed.
They probably weren't playing in the midfield.
No. That's the thing. I don't play midfield in the AFL, so then like it is what it is. But and then I played early, and then come back into the team. Played a good game against St Kilda.
Yep.
At Etihad.
Yep.
Like pretty good game.
With some midfield time.
Time. Yep. And then round 9, I think. Round 9, played against Melbourne on a Friday night at Optus.
Yeah, it was a night game.
Yeah.
What memories do you have of the night?
None. No, I don't remember the night.
Do you have like having watched back the footage?
Yeah, I know what happened because I've seen the footage that many times.
But if you think about it right now, like you can't remember anything?
No, I can because I've watched it.
Yes.
But like I don't remember if I didn't watch it.
So anyone who hasn't seen it, Venables, it was like a kick out or something, right? I was coming out of there.
Yeah, Bunga was played on and kicked it out.
You must have been up in the midfield, maybe.
No, I was
running around up there.
Nah, because he ran a bit and he kicked it to I was like leading hard.
Yeah,
remember that? Or because I've seen it.
Yeah, that's the hard thing, right? So so
you don't know. I don't know.
I was speaking about it because I've seen it as well. It's probably the same memories as you. Venables is comes back with the flight, big contest. It looks like you realise
late,
just too late.
Yeah,
and you kind of just turn as you
can
see your brain going,
do this, but it was too late. Like people don't realise, like when you play at night, things happen. It's kind of you lose track of stuff.
Explain that.
Like you got lights and shit coming around all the time, and then because it's night as well. It's just I don't know, it's a bit different.
Yeah.
And then I was just tracking this ball, thought I was good to go. That's what I must have been thinking.
Yeah.
And then as soon as I've looked, I've just
bang.
On this one, and then bang, just got hit in the wrong spot.
People have explained it like a car crash.
Yeah. I had a it's pretty much. I had a traumatic brain injury. I had 7 bleeds on the brain. Yep. So it was full car crash type of collision.
Do you remember coming to?
I come. I remember I woke up. So that happened early in the second, I reckon, and then I woke up at the end of half time.
Yeah.
I had a seizure on the field.
Yeah.
I remember just waking up, and I remember one of the first things I did was I pushed my hands through my head and I shaved my head that day. I went a full buzz cut that day, and I had had my long hair, and then I was what the fuck? Where's my hair? Yeah,
really.
I was what's going on? And then I bought a dog the day before. I bought Bear the day before.
Yeah, and
then one of the boys told Alex to the doc. He's like, mate, go ask him about his dog. Yeah. Fuck, I got no idea what you're talking about.
Because, it's tough to talk about now because you are where you are now, right? Your career's over, and that's public knowledge. But when stuff like this happens, people get head knocks. It happens. So the instant reaction for teammates, and this is with any injury, really, you make sure they're okay. But once you think they're okay, it's kind of opportunity to take the piss a bit. And so the Bear thing would have been go test, see if you can remember what's going on. Because, it's not a good thing in hindsight now, but it's just how footy clubs are, right? It's a generally positive place. So you make sure your mate's all right. He's breathing. He's sitting up. He's looking around. He must be all right. Yeah. And so go ask him to remember his dog's name. Go tell him that we won by 50 goals and he kicked 10 goals. It happened my whole career.
Yeah.
But I just got knocked out. You're I'll go play a trick on him. And so... Yeah, so you finish up, you go.
I was going to say, when how long did it take for you to watch the vision back?
Straight away.
Oh, right.
You don't realise at the time, man. It's just you got knocked out. Have a look at it. How does it look?
So what did you think when you watched it? Were you that looks bad?
I was fuck, that's pretty big. And I had heaps of messages saying that's not well.
So what immediate after effects, like 24 to a week?
Yeah, I went home that night, and I just remember like, my head was just like gonna explode, just like couldn't handle it, and that just stayed pretty much. Just
That feeling?
That feeling, yeah, this pressure through my head and like migraines and that.
For how long?
I've still got them now, yeah.
Right now?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So when were you living with anyone at the time?
So I was living with my host family.
Yep.
And my partner at the time, she was over. So then, yeah. So I had like people there, but I didn't really know what to do.
So, these feelings you got in your head still to this day, but when you first feel them, you're kind of waiting for them to.
Yeah, you just wait for them to go because I've been concussed before, and like your head's sore, but like it just goes away. Like you just wake up the next day and you're all good.
Yeah.
Or like 2 days later you're all good. But yeah, this one it just hasn't gone, eh?
So, like what are the long term after effects? So you've had that feeling. What are the long term things you've been dealing with?
Yeah.
To just give the listeners some.
Yeah.
Like what are you going through since that moment?
So I've got pretty much from that day. I've like migraines all the time. I have headaches every day. I have this like constant like pressure through my head and like headache all the time. Eye pain. My neck's like cooked. So is my jaw. Always sore. What else? Energy. Like I can't sleep either. So that's the thing that's like probably made it worse is because I can't sleep. My body's just tired. So then like I've got no energy and like all that type of stuff. So like it makes it even worse. Like my thinking's like not good. I lose a bit of memory sometimes. And then just like other stuff with like uni, like the whole cognitive function type of stuff is like not the same.
So have you had times where you've tried to come back and play?
Yeah. But I just like, mate, I was in that much pain. Like I just copped it.
Yeah.
Like I was just, that's in hindsight, like should never try to get back.
Yeah.
Like running, like I can't, as soon as my heart rate gets above like 80, like the pressure in my head just goes like through the roof. And I was just doing that like I did 2 pre-seasons.
I know.
That's why I was like, now I've stopped and I'm like, fuck, like I don't know how I did that.
Why did you do it?
Because I didn't know how bad my head was. Like you don't know, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Are you thinking like surely like tomorrow, like it will just start easing, just waiting for that day?
Yeah, every day is like I wait for tomorrow and I'm hoping like I'm all good. And that's kind of like what they've all said. But yeah, so it's tough. It's definitely tough. But I love playing footy and I love like that's kind of like where like my role in the team is like I'm a sacrificial player. Like, and I did that because I just love the boys.
Yeah.
So like that's why I play footy is like for the team.
Yeah.
So I was like, how good like you got to experience like because you're older. That grand final, you had like all the boys that you played with from the start.
Yeah.
Like that would be pretty cool to experience that. Yeah. As an older player.
Yeah. So do you reckon that was a big driving factor behind?
Oh yeah.
Walking through walls basically.
Yeah.
Even like you got headaches, you got brain pressure, brain bleeding.
Yeah.
You got that's your driving point.
Yeah, but how good
for the boys?
How good would it be to like Tommy Cole, Rotho, Jake, Jacko, to win a flag with them? You know what I mean? Like when we've taken over that, and I'm like, fuck, that'd be so good. But yeah, it just got too much, man. And then like I was just getting worse and worse and worse and worse, and then it just didn't come through.
Yeah.
So yeah.
What's kind of well, I mean you've touched on it. What's the hardest part for you? Is it the dealing with the effects? Is it the feeling around
physical
teammates?
stuff?
Is it physical? Yeah. Is it
hardest part about not playing footy anymore?
Yeah.
Do you know that feeling when you like rolling into a game and you see like so when we drive into Optus, you have like everyone walking in, all that type of stuff, like
buzz a bit.
The buzz, that's exciting. Oh, that's pretty cool. Things like that. Every time I do that and go watch the boys play, I'm like, that's when I like start to feel like
you miss it.
I miss it. I don't miss like. Oh, to be honest, now I'm not doing it. I don't mind pre-season. I hate it. I'm the worst runner. I can't, mate. As soon as a bit of lactic acid goes through my legs, I'm in trouble. But like that 2K, as shit as it is, you kind of like afterwards, you're like, that was like, you know what I mean? You have a laugh with the boys. Like you see someone on a treadmill and you like laugh at him like, mate, you're on a treadmill that last lap. Like, you know,
and that was you.
Yeah.
So you tweeted actually about the 2K today.
Yeah, we're recording Monday night.
Yeah. So what does that look like? Are you just running 2Ks? Are you what's the 2K?
It's just I tweeted today. I don't know this. I said today, just like good morning. Like today, just so you know, today is the worst day on any athlete, any footballer's calendar.
Worst.
Doesn't matter how fit you are, how much work you've put in, how confident you are, you'll still feel like spewing up this morning before a 2K.
Because no matter how hard you go, like no matter if you're fit, unfit, you're still gonna feel the same.
Yeah, true.
You know what I mean? Like
You still it's a maximum.
it's
effort.
maximum effort. Yeah. So if I'm running, if I run my like 6:48 that I run on the dot, that's as I'm working as hard as someone who's running 6:15
or sub.
So if anything, I'm running harder.
Yes.
So the 2K, just to clarify, is you running as hard as you can for
on an abstract.
On abstract.
Yeah, right.
It's like
So there's no conserving energy. It's run as fast as you can for as long as you can
Yes.
and get to 2Ks.
Have you ever had to do anything like that?
Run cross country in year 7, I think. Actually, I remember cross country.
What level?
Could be a reserve.
Okay.
I'm not a great runner, always coming second and third. I remember cross country, I sprinted for as long as I could.
From the start.
I was so far ahead of everyone. Everyone was like, oh my gosh, what is this? This guy's insane. And at about, I don't know, 320 meters, I was last. But I thought I'm going to run. If I can get that big a lead, surely I could win this. And I came last.
This is a serious question. I'm flipping to you to ask.
Yeah.
Is there anything in your life? No, I mean this because I think elite athletes, we have multiple things weekly that we have to try our hardest. Like you have to do your very best, and if you don't do your best, like instant feedback. It's like it's a brutal industry. Is there anything like what do you do in your life now that like if you don't do your best, there's consequences? Your very best.
Probably parenting.
There you go. Good.
Even at work, it's not physically demanding, but if you like, I don't know, defame someone accidentally because you're not working as hard, get sued.
Yeah, but like
it's hard because it's not physical.
You could put in an 80% effort at work, and everyone would be like, "Man, that's like great job." No, seriously. But if you roll in a 2K time trial and you're 80%, you look terrible, and there's no
but
good
that's
job,
because it's
bro.
visual, right? There's not many things that I do that's like visually.
No, parenting's a great example. Yeah, if you're not trying your hardest there, you don't have an option. You either like try hard and do your best, or kids
Suffer.
Kids not doing well. I don't want to say that, but you're like, no more kids, because you're like, without you, kids don't exist.
Yeah.
Well, like, I just think it's an interesting concept, right?
Yeah.
Tell the listeners for me, Ben. I know this sort of answer a few things you've been doing. What sort of stuff have you done in order to try and get back? Like, you say, come training. What sort of exercises and things have you done to try and get your head right?
Yeah. So I met up with he's a neuroscience science guy in Melbourne, Brett Jaros. He was able to like find out what parts of my brain weren't working.
Right.
And then so like if you do a hammy, like you got to rehab the hammy.
And you scan it. So scan your brain.
Yeah. Well, I've got like scars in my brain now, so like that won't change. So the scans don't really do much anymore for me. But like he has all these tests that's able to identify what part of my brain isn't working.
Right.
And then through that, he's like, we got to rehab it. So through whatever parts of my brain weren't working, different exercises can like target that. So I do exercises twice a day, every day since like would have been September, August last year.
Like what?
Heaps of eye exercises. It's hard to explain. Like I'll give you one example. So there's one like I've like my eyes flicker to the left, and because my eyes flicker to the left, it like hurts like my neck. Gives me headaches. Gives me like brain fog because my body always thinks I'm moving and like it's just hard to process stuff.
Right.
So like to counteract that, do you know them like it's funny. Do you know them like you go to the park and it's like the spinny things.
Roundabout.
Yeah, the roundabout. Yeah.
Hyde
So I'd have
Park.
to spin on that the opposite way.
So like you like sit on a roundabout.
I'd stand on it and I'd spin it.
Fast?
Yeah, fast. The opposite way. I'd do it for like a minute and then I'd stop, and then I'd be there for like 30 minutes. I'd be almost throwing up.
And
That's meant to like counteract.
Get off and stand still.
Yeah, then stop and stand still. And that's meant to it was meant to like counteract my left movement, so that my brain would train my eyes to like go back to the middle. And then I do like and heaps of balance stuff, heaps of like letter charts where like I'm looking at one to the other. And I can't really explain them, to be honest. But like, you got a gist of it, you know.
It's like memory stuff.
Memory stuff as well. I do memory stuff, coordination stuff. Like I have to
stuff with balls, like
hand-eye stuff, because I had to retrain all of that. Like I started from scratch again.
When you say started from scratch,
man, like
you couldn't catch a ball.
No, well, man, I couldn't judge it. I had to like learn how to like weave through cones. Like,
why? What was the feeling? Like when you looked at
like unco. Like it's like I went from like an elite sportsman to
balance.
a person that to like never played sport in their life. I did that all behind the scenes. Like none of the boys ever seen any of that. There's heaps of stuff behind the scenes that none of the boys like seen that I'd do. So I was in Melbourne for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was the feeling. I'm just trying to represent to people listening or watching what I think people hear concussion and head knocks and when you say bleeds on the brain, I think
that's a traumatic brain injury. That's a different one. Yeah.
And that lifts the severity of what people think about it. But I think some people just hear concussion and it's like, wow, like what's the feeling? Does it feel like you're drunk? Does it feel like you have a pain that you cannot stop and that's the problem? Like, is like,
do you know when you've had a massive night on the cruises, the sugar drinks, and you wake up that next morning and it's like blistering.
Yeah, it's like champagne.
Yeah, blistering. That's how I wake up every morning. That's why I struggle getting out of bed.
Yeah.
I have that feeling all the time, and then it's just like heaps of pressure, man. It's like pressure can't release from my head, and then when my neck gets like sore again, like everything just like counteracts.
What are
not counteract, I don't know if that's the right word.
What do the experts say? What's everyone saying? What's your prognosis? What's the future look like for you?
They don't really know. Like that's the thing about brain injuries is like every brain injury is different, so like they can't. Yeah, so all I can do is do all my rehab and just like hope that it comes good.
You talked about sort of rehab to correct things, but what about to relieve pressure and pain? Is there anything that you can do to like ease some of that on a day to day?
Medication doesn't work for me. I've tried everything on that. I get needles in my neck all the time, and then I see physio twice a week. I see physio twice a week for my neck and my jaw, and then I see another one twice a week for like head rehab as well. So yeah, and they do sometimes. Like the neck does release, but I'm not sure. It just doesn't. I don't know. It's been 2.5 years and nothing's really changed.
I mean, you can answer this or not. Who's covering that? All of that treatment?
The club for the next 18 months, I think. I think that's how it works. I'll pay my health. Yeah, I pay my health insurance, and then the thingo from that goes to the club.
Right. Yeah, man. I mean, it's so brutal. Like, what do you are where you are now? You got memories in a journey that has existed. It's not like you're just a corpse. You're on the way up as well. Do you have a positive outlook on life going forward? Do you have a positive reflection on what's happened? Where's your mind with it at all?
Man, I'm so like optimistic in life. I've learnt, man. I've hit rock bottom. Like I've been to hell and back. So like I understand like how grateful we are to be here. You know, like I could have died that night, and I'm very like that's. I had 7 bleeds in my brain, 7 bleeds in the brain, and I'm so like good health, like enjoy life. You know, like well, I don't really stress much anymore because I'm like I couldn't see anyone for like I couldn't go to a social gathering for like 2 years more, and like that impacts you so much, and like things like that, like don't take it for granted. People probably realizing like what the COVID, all these lockdowns is kind of what I've been going through from the start. To be honest, that's a good like analogy, yeah, because like I was just stuck at home, and like it impacts your mental health. But man, like everything happens for a reason, and I feel like I've had to go through this to find like who I am and grow as a person. Like you learn things about yourself when you go through the trenches that you never learn if you don't. And yeah, so I've learned so much about myself, and I'm so proud of the way that I've handled it and like my outlook on life. And I'm just a happy guy, you know, like just want to have fun.
It's an interesting thing that you say about you don't stress that much anymore. Is that because you realise, you know, what it is to lose everything effectively?
Yeah, like at the end of the day, man, like I stress about stuff, but I don't stress about little shit, man. Like when things get taken away from you, you're like, fuck, like, you know what I mean? Like it just like puts things into perspective, I guess. And it's like I don't really need to worry about that, and like I don't really care about what people think about me because like I'm happy with who I am, and you find that about yourself. I don't know, it's weird. I don't know. I've like changed. Like to think like I never would have known all this stuff if I hadn't gone through this. Yeah. Bit of an old man, I know.
Right, mate, trust me, I sit next to a couple of old bastards right here. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I got one or two more.
Yeah.
Reflecting on your time in the game as an AFL player, what do you look back on yourself as a player?
There wasn't much, was there?
Is it what could have been?
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I know that's obvious.
Like I got a good highlights package.
You do,
like,
man.
yeah, I do.
You do, bro.
Well, yeah. Like I always like look back and like far out, like if only. But I've also learned you can't keep doing that because then you just get stuck in the past and you can't move forward.
Yeah.
But yeah, I always say, back when I played.
Back in the day. How old are you?
Yeah. 23.
23,
Yeah.
my man.
All right.
I don't know if anyone asked about Schofield, but I'd like to ask him about Brad Shepherd. Is that right, Dan?
Yeah, I think someone brought it up, but
Well, look, we're recording Monday night and Brad hasn't come out and announced his retirement. So a few media types decided to do that for him during the week, which I personally found, to a point, disrespectful to, not to legacy or anything like that, but I thought it was a big moment in someone's career to be able to stand in front of people you worked with for a long time. You got to do it. I've got to do it where you can look people in the eye and say thank you and show your respect. That got taken away from Brad Shepherd by the media this week, and that's why I feel passionately about it. On Brad Shepherd, if he does in fact retire, have you spoken to Shep? I mean, he's going through concussion headlight symptoms.
Yeah, I haven't really spoken to him too much about it, to be honest. His is a bit different to me. He's had like a fair few.
It was interesting you said like every head knock's different.
Yeah, where I haven't had like heaps of head knocks before, so I don't really know. You know what I mean? Like, but I definitely know. Brain health's a pretty important thing. You know, like we you only get one brain. That's what I've learnt. So whatever he does, if he retires, if he doesn't, I'm not sure. I just hope for the best that he's all good, you know, and he gets through it.
Well said, mate. All right, you're gonna hang around now. That's the Dan Venables story done and dusted. We've got something that's very important to the podcast, and I'm sure you know about it. It's actually probably why you're here. Like, your story's important, but social media.
Obviously, it's number one.
It's here. So this is the people segment where the people get to ask you the questions. I said on social today, it's like a press conference. It's just a little less grubby. There's just a little less vultures rolling around looking for a grab. And the people get to ask you the questions, mate. So are you ready?
Born ready, man.
We got some good grabs out of here today. People say no West Coast, no Venables. I'm born ready. All right, social media, here it is. Is it the Swinners or is it Thes Winners?
I'm going to go with There's Winners.
Okay.
Your role in the 2018 season getting us to the grand final showed us we had a real star in the making. Aside from the final series wins, was there a home and away win in 2018 that you're a part of that stands out in your mind? P.S. Sorry, your career was cut short as an Eagles cheer squad member. I can confirm that you were a crowd favourite, and I would have loved to see you become a 300 gamer for the club. So, 2018 season home and away games. Any standouts?
Home and away, probably won my debut, but we didn't win. I reckon when Gov kicked that goal after the siren against Port.
Was that year?
That was that year. Shuey went the year before and he went that year.
2018, Gov kicked a goal after the try and win. Really? Yeah, that. Okay, so you played that?
Kicked the flower bag as well.
Absolute flower bag. What would you have done? Did you kick straight in the middle? Good set shot a goal? You?
I'm a good set shot, not from within 40.
Length, what? You start hooking them?
No,
too hard.
Well, I don't know. I just
Spraying them.
can't get the distance. I can get on the run. No
you
drama.
need to be running fast.
Yeah, I can get on the run, no dramas. But yeah, not a drop.
All right, good.
When someone's kicked a goal after the siren, what are you saying? Are you just screaming profanities at them? Is that essentially
Pretty much, yeah.
Getting around them and yelling?
Yep.
I reckon you would have said get 'em, boys. Live_Floro.
What's that?
Sorry, I would just say live_Floro. Look, social media is a little selective. It always has been. We can't read every single person's. We take the best of the best. I mean, it's the best podcast segment going around.
Yeah.
Liv Floro is consistently in here.
Yeah.
So thank you, Liv. We love your contribution.
What's something you do that helps you press pause on life and just take in the moment?
Getting heavy, Liv.
I like just going for walks and that, man, to be honest. Have you ever done Wim Hof?
No, tell us about Wim Hof. I know what Wim Hof.
Yeah. It's like this rapid breathing, hot breath holds.
Technique, right?
Breathing technique. Yeah, but gets you to like a point where you're just like, I don't know, you just feel weird.
You're hyperventilating.
Yeah, you're hyperventilating and then you breathe all the way out and you have no air in your body and you just hold it for as long as you can.
So you do a big
pass out.
You do a big build up, and it's a segmented system of breathing. It's called the Wim Hof method, right? Google it, have a look. You build it up, build it up, build it up, build it up, and then you breathe it all out, and you can just hold your body in a position with no oxygen in it for like. He does deep sea diving, so he does the Wim Hof. You can go under for like 6, 7, 8 minutes, no breath.
Yeah, I don't do that, but
Venables goes live on the bottom of the ocean.
And that's the last we saw of Daniel.
yeah, that's pretty cool though.
Good answer.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
I like that. Stefan_1039.
Venners, what's it like coming into a team given essentially the graveyard shift role with lots of unrewarded running? Was it mentally challenging at all taking on that kind of a role?
Yeah, it's definitely tough. We spoke about it before. It's not fun, but it's rewarded within the club. It's not spoken about in the club, which is good.
Yeah.
External people think that you've just played shit.
People looked at your grand final.
Yeah.
4 touches.
Yeah.
What was he doing in the team? I hopefully have tried to identify what you were doing in the team, because people understand. People look at Lewis Jett as a great one, right? Why doesn't Jets get 30 touches a game? Well, like, it's not what he does. But you're a good example, right? 4 touches in the game. People think, oh, he didn't play well. Well, what you did, like off the ball, defensive running, attacking running, option. Someone's got to play that role.
Yeah.
You can't just have people run around getting touches.
No.
That's not actually how you win a grand final.
No.
The 1%ers.
The 1%ers, mate. That's it.
Short for Decker.
How did you develop your skills, position in teams, etc., at an early age and into the start of your career? How would you be placed on the talent work graph? Seemed to get a lot of hype from scout reports from within the Eagles, so you must have been getting a few things right in your development.
Let me bring that down. How did you develop your skills growing up? And if you had a graph, talent versus work rate, where would you sit on that?
Yeah. Man, from when I was like, I reckon 5, if I went for a kick with my dad, I had to kick both feet.
Huh.
Wasn't allowed to just kick my right.
Did forced by dad?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Very good.
So things like that. I guess, I'm pretty naturally gifted, to be honest. Yeah.
So on the talent
On the
versus
talent,
work
yeah.
rate?
I work hard, but I'm very talented. Definitely talented. I can do things that some people can't do.
Can only dream of doing.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah, but like
you could come out of a stoppage. You haven't trained that. You haven't trained your spatial awareness in a stoppage.
Yeah.
So that's talent. But
I work hard. It's just like didn't have a lot of like continuity in my body to get fit. Like I didn't do, you know what I mean? Like AFL was like, I don't know if people realise how hard AFL is.
How hard is it?
Mate, so everyone talks about like sledge and all this stuff. Like I can't speak when I'm running in a game. Like all of us forwards, we can't speak because we're just like humming up and down the ground.
Yeah, so
like,
I'm chasing you around.
Yeah,
so I can't speak
so hard. And then like but Yeah, I've like filled out now. I played at like 83, 84. I'm like 93 now.
Do you feel better now or better then?
I feel a lot stronger. I reckon good.
You want to arm wrestle Dan?
I'd win.
Debatable.
Who did you try to arm wrestle earlier on?
Oscar Allen. He didn't want to.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
We played a
he's scared.
story about someone snapping their arm.
Oh.
We're going to leave that one to the very end because that's my favourite
Okay.
a lot. Michael_John_Watkins.
Venables, imagine it's 2016, you've just been drafted. A spirit appears telling you that you've two choices about how your career will go. 21 games and 1 premiership, or 210 games and no premierships. What do you choose?
I just want to say while you think about an answer. That's about as good as a question we'll ever
good
get.
one.
Have you had that before?
Man, so how's this? So people probably think that I'm stupid, but I'd probably, if in the 210 games I didn't have a head knock, I'd take that.
Yeah.
Instead of a flag. Or I just wouldn't play.
Okay. So 210 games with no head knock
No head knocks.
versus 21 games in Premiership and a head knock.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Because I'm left
You're
like,
off.
I'm left like
Yeah.
with a disability now. So I'd take that, but I don't look back at doing that stuff because I'm like, fuck, you get stuck in it, you know. Like,
I think you've identified that. Yeah.
like there's more to life than footy.
Yeah.
I'll put it that way. There's more to life than footy, which is hard to some people probably to see. But I've
Not me.
been through it.
I like it. Patches 86.
Venas, how often do you get asked if you're Luke Shuey's little brother?
I've actually never heard that one before.
Right.
You learn from the best. You actually both, probably the thing that's most like, you look at your footy skills are similar, both from sort of similar areas in Melbourne, but your skin complexion is actually right up there.
We find it tough in Perth, put it that way.
You both struggle in the heat, don't you?
Struggle.
You need a lot of sunscreen.
Yes, a lot of sunshine.
Slap it on.
Any sponsors or what?
Now we're talking.
It costs money.
All right, 2 to go. Second last one, Morgan Ashworth. This is from one of our patrons.
What was it like debuting and playing in a grand final in the same year?
Pretty cool. Thought footy was pretty easy.
Yeah. Right? Is that what the feeling was? It's like, oh, we'll just do this every year.
Yeah.
It's crazy, eh?
Yeah.
All right. This is actually a question of the day for mine. I won't actually read who it's from. I'll just read the question.
Yeah, sure.
It's
Okay.
a great question.
What's your What's
Come on, bro.
What's your KFC order? And what's your favorite brand, Kenzo or Versace?
Which one of the boys did this?
It is an ex-teammate of both ours.
KFC order.
So what's your
first.
go-to KFC order?
2 pepper mayo sliders and 2 chicken nugget buckets.
What's that?
I feel like you've done that before. What is it?
2 pepper mayo sliders.
Pepper mayo slider.
Never heard of that.
It's like a little taco, man.
Talk me through it.
It's like a little flatbread,
Pretty good?
some chicken tender, pepper mayo, and some lettuce.
Pretty good?
Oh, mate.
You rattled
Why
that
do
off
you
something.
reckon? Why do you reckon I'm 93 at the minute?
And what's your favourite brand, Kenzo,
Kenzo.
or Versace? What are you wearing? You look at
Nah, I don't have them on. I love me Versace sunnies. They're pretty hectic.
I love that. I love it.
You'll be yourself, don't you?
You do, mate, and you've done that well. We appreciate you coming in and spending a bit of time with us, mate. Honestly, you got your footy stories as good as we spoke to Tom Hawkins last week, and he's done everything you could ever do in footy. He's won 2 premierships, best and fairest, 300 games, 600 goals. I love talking to you as much as I love talking to Tom, mate. It's been unreal.
I'm happy to be here.
Good job, Buzzy.
Thank you very much.
You want to pass one on from me? Yeah, pass it on. Secret grip. We should just end the show.
Let's end the show. That's BackChat 2.0. That's how we do it. Venables has been gracious enough to come and sit in here with us. You can find us. You know where to get us. We're on the internet. backchatpodcast.com.au. All our stuff's on socials, Instagram, YouTube channel. You got to sign up, guys. Come on.
Have you subbed to our YouTube channel?
Venables,
Of course.
you'll be
Thank
saying,
you.
oh, you have?
Of course, mate.
I'll check.
Yeah, YouTube's where it's at. We got a lot more content coming out. We got a little secret weapon we've been introduced to this week. It's a little team member just joining us. Just a nice little secret weapon in the background.
Not Charlie. Still haven't seen him or heard
We
from
don't
him.
know
for
where
days.
Charlie is. We don't know where he is. But that's it. BackChat 2.0. See you next week.